Hi guys, I've been off YouTube for about a week now, and oh my goodness, what a week it has been. This week we found out that GCSE and A-level exams in the UK have been cancelled for this year. It's a rubbish situation and I really do sympathise with any of you who are due to be doing your exams this year. Super quickly, many of you will already know this, but my brother actually went through this exact same situation last year. He was given centre assessed grades that were below what he expected, below what he predicted, which meant he ended up taking the autumn exam series, and thankfully he got his grade in maths that he needed to go to university, so he'll be heading off to uni this September. That doesn't mean to say that it's been plain sailing the whole way through. Obviously it would have been so much better if he could have just sat the exams in the summer and gone off to university like all of his peers in September. Likewise, I'm sure this is a really worrying time for a lot of you, so today I thought I would bring you a small extra video all about how you can get the best grades this summer despite the fact there are no exams. Tip number one is to keep working. Now, I've been working with students this week and it's been a really stressful time, but the first thing they said was, oh great, I can stop working. No, you absolutely cannot. This year, more than any year before, you need to work so hard in the next 6 months up until when your exams would have been. That is because your teachers are going to be continually assessing you through tests, through homework. You want to show them exactly what you can do so that you're going to get the best grade in the summer. Number two is to keep revising and revisiting content. Now, your teachers may have to prove your grades in order for you to get them in the summer, and that means they need to have evidence from all the way through your sixth form or your GCSE journey. And obviously, before Corona hit, nobody knew that we were going to need this kind of evidence-based system, and so you may not have been tested as much as you are being now, and that means that your teachers may need to spring a test on you in order to get the evidence that they need in order to prove your grade in the summer. It is so important that you do not take your foot off the gas. You work so hard in the run-up to when your exams would have been. Tip number three is to keep learning new content and make sure that you're covering the syllabus. Now, if you're going off to university to study something like maths or maybe biochemistry, you're going to need the skills from your A-level, maybe more so than a humanities style subject. Because, for example, my geography degree, I needed the skills that I'd learned and not necessarily the content. But I think if you're going off to do maybe biochemistry, I don't know, maths, something like that, then you're going to need the content as well. And that means in order to not be behind when you go off to university, you're going to need to make sure you've covered all the key content in your syllabus. Similarly, if you're doing GCSE physics and you haven't covered all the content, but you want to go on and do A-level physics, a lot of that groundwork is done at GCSE and you need to make sure that you have it in order to be able to do really well at A-level physics. So it's really important that you cover the syllabus. Number four is to keep engaging with your teachers. It is never too late to make a good impression. They're there to help you, they want to help you, and they want to make sure that you get the best grade possible, which means you need to make sure that you are showing them that you deserve that grade. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Now, asking for help seems really counterintuitive. Like, why would you ask for help when you want to show that you kind of understand everything? But actually, asking for help is a really proactive step in trying to make sure that you understand stuff. And so it shows your teachers that you're working really hard. Tip number five is if your home study space is not suitable, maybe you've got a younger sibling, you've got lots of younger siblings, you share a bedroom, I don't know, you have a really strange relationship with your parents, it's really important that you reach out to school. They do have spaces in school for vulnerable children. Vulnerable children are still allowed to come in, and don't be embarrassed to ask for that. You want to make sure that you get the best grades in the summer, and so you need to do everything you possibly can to make sure that happens. Remember, there are likely to be autumn exams like there were last year, so do not shut your books in Easter and think, great, I've done all I need to do, I've shown my teachers what I can do. It will all be fine, because if you have to take those autumn exams, you do not want to be doing what my brother was doing last year, which was trying to revise 2 years worth of content in about 6 weeks after A-level results day. Do a couple of past papers each week, just keep everything ticking over, because that means it's not going to be quite so difficult to pick it all back up again if you need to after A-level or GCSE results day. And hey, even if you don't end up sitting those autumn exams and you go into sixth form or go straight into university, it's not like that learning is going to be wasted, because I'm sure it will come in useful with your future studies. Number seven is if you have coursework, make sure that you are working super hard on it. You want to make it the highest quality it can possibly be, because that is going to form part of your grade. The people I feel most sorry for in this situation are private candidates. There are many homeschooled students, there are many who didn't get the grades in October, who want to sit their exams again. And I mean, to be honest, the government needs to think of something for you, because it's just not fair that you spend 2 years out of like your life just waiting to find out when you can finally do your exams. I don't have a tip as such on this, but just keep yourselves posted on what the government is saying and keep pushing and keep campaigning to try and make them make a decision about this, because it is super important that you guys find out what's happening. And tip number 8 or 9 is to keep motivated. Yes, it's a really stressful time at the moment. You don't know exactly what's happening with your exams, but eat, exercise, look after yourself. Make sure that you're not staying up all night playing video games, I don't know, chatting to your friends. It's important to check in with them every single day. I really do want to emphasize that. But it's also important that you keep working hard because you cannot afford to not get the grades you want this summer. Even though grades don't define you, and you'll have heard this so many times before, they are still really important and they allow you to take the next step in life. I'm sure many of you watching this already know all of this. However, for A-level students, don't rule out a gap year. Now, I had an unplanned gap year, as did my brother, and it wasn't the worst thing in the world. We've come out of it with skills, experiences that we never thought we'd have, and going off to university, I really do think a gap year is quite beneficial. My brother is also doing a gap year in the pandemic, which is tricky as well because jobs and volunteering opportunities aren't exactly everywhere at the moment, but he will be fine, just like all of you will be. Another thing to say is to trust your teachers and your schools. They really do want the best for you. It might not feel like that when you don't get the grades you want in the summer, but they really do want you to be working hard. They want to work with you on this to make sure that you get those grades you deserve in the summer. Now, I want to share a little analogy with you. So, imagine we're looking at the London Marathon or the Olympics, for example, and the Olympics can't happen. I don't know if they're going to be able to happen this year anyway. But imagine the Olympics can't happen and you've suddenly got to allow the Olympic Committee to work out who's going to get the bronze, silver and gold medal. They don't know who's going to have an injury just before the day. They don't know who's going to have a bereavement. They don't know who's going to be kind of the underdog all the way through the heats and then suddenly absolutely smash it in the final and come out first. And that is exactly like your exams. They don't know who would have worked really, really hard from March through to the exams, but they also don't know who would have really struggled or who worked really, really hard throughout the whole 2 years in sixth form or GCSEs in school, I don't know, and then ends up not doing that well in their exams because exams just aren't for them. Whatever happens, some people are going to be disappointed on results day and some people are going to be absolutely delighted, but that's just what happens when you don't get a chance to run that race or sit those exams. We're never going to know the true outcome of this year's GCSE and A-level exams because they're just not going to be sat. All you know is somebody's best guess of what they would have been. Good luck with what is left of your A-level or GCSE journey. It's a really, really difficult year and I do sympathise, but you've just got to make the most of a bad situation at this point. I hope you found something in this video useful. If you have, as ever, do subscribe to my channel down below and give this video a big thumbs up. Keep working, keep motivated and do stay well. I'll see you next time with a new video. Bye!